Hello and welcome to another episode of the Altered States podcast with myself, Josh Gate, Harry Williams, and our guest today, Max Lahiff.
Honoured to be here, chaps.
Thanks for coming on, Max.
Thank you.
How's it going, mate?
Yeah, wonderful. You got to see the new pads, looking lovely.
Yeah, you
very
like it?
hospitable. From you, Josh.
Easy trip down from Bristol?
Yeah, it was so easy. Just straight on the motorway. I'm here in an hour. I'm coming down a lot more.
Yeah, mate. You're more than welcome to come down whenever you want.
Very easy.
And how's things at the minute? Like, obviously, this must be a weird sort of period where you're like, you finished with rugby for the year, you got a little bit of time off, you just chilling?
Yeah, I've just been pretty laconic, catching up with fam. Brother's back from Hong Kong, so that was nice catching up with him. Haven't seen him for 18 months due to corona apocalypse.
Yeah.
So it's been good, just getting out of a routine, being a bit of a vegetable.
What kind of hoops did he have to go through to get back into the UK?
He just has to do like a 5-day quarantine or something, and just test through there, and then some like officer comes over to the house to check that he's.
How many times do they come over?
Only once.
Really?
Yeah.
An officer like it's a policeman or
not
it's
a
like
policeman.
specific?
It's some kind of COVID official. Yeah.
He's a volunteer.
Yeah. A community officer or something. Yeah, something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, fair enough.
I know.
Yeah, we'll just...
Shall we go in?
Yeah, we'll sidetrack from that. Mate, so obviously not the ideal end to the season for you boys.
We'll go straight into it. Both being slain by the dreaded Quins. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Sure.
They had a hell of a playoffs, though, bastards.
Yeah, they really did.
To them,
Yeah.
A nice little run from them, which is ridiculous.
Mate, incredible. I've never seen a team turn it around in a season like that, though. Comeback.
No, it was good, mate. Yes. It's an hard one to go over that. No, it's fair enough. So when you go back in, up in Bristol, is it straight? Are you flat out when you get straight back into it? Or do you slowly kind of like ease your way in?
First day is like straight Bronco.
No way.
I think it's full madness. Genuine? Yeah. They're going straight in. Just no lube, just pants down.
How is your Bronco?
God, mate, how? You go first. What's your best?
I've never run a competitive Bronco.
Whoa, let's retrace. What's the Bronco?
Right, Bronco is 20, 40, 60 cones.
Yeah.
And you got to run 2 each 5 times. No, that's right. So 1 rep is 20 out back, 40 back, 60 back. That's 1 rep. You got to do that 5 times for time. There's your Bronco. 1,200 meters.
And that's it. Once you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
And you've got do they have specific times for front row should be hitting?
Yeah, they do.
They do have specific times. Yes.
I'm very far off those times. I'm a short burst kind of guy, but Bowden Barrett, the famed All Black, can run it in like 4:18 or something ridiculous.
Really?
Which is unheard of. I've never seen anything like it.
It is. Yeah. That's probably maybe like 2 minutes quicker. I don't know, what time do you know?
My best is like 5:25.
That's still not bad.
Yeah, no, I'll take it, but I don't think I'll be getting that when I get back.
5 minutes is what your front row. Yeah.
Oh, really?
As a front row,
Does anyone hit that?
Yeah, some guys do. I hear Will Stewart's a savage.
Well, he's actually good at it.
Yeah, I heard he's pretty good at it, which is surprising, seeing he's like 130 clicks and ginormous.
Yeah, I wouldn't have predicted that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put him up there for it. But I heard
all
he's...
respect to Stu, but I didn't see him as a
as a
Bronco runner.
Bronco fiend.
I'm just going to lay it out right now. I don't think it's a good test.
I completely concur. Who do you reckon made it popular, though?
I actually know the guy. This is not to clout chase, but I know the guy who created it.
And
Dean Benton.
Oh,
hold tight, Dean Benton. He created it. He is the creator of the Bronco.
And what's his reasoning on it?
Well, he said it's obviously it's a kilometre and change, but then you just it's with turns. So apparently it's more rugby specific.
Shouldn't it be interspersed with like wrestling or something?
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if you had to do I don't know,
hit a pad or
pin some people down, hold them down for like a minute, then go again. I don't know.
But that was the one you did at Bath was like quite hard. Was it runways?
Runways, yeah. So runways was a savage thing. It was like 3 sets of basically different sort of shuttles, but it was more like anaerobic than aerobic, whereas the Broncos is fully aerobic. Like you're just going, and the because it's like 3 sets of 6 reps essentially, the runways. But oh my god, that was horrible as well.
Yeah, it sounds rank.
It lasts a lot longer, but there's something about Broncos which is dreaded. And in Australia, they got something quite similar to Broncos, like a 300 meter. It's like a 300 meter shuttle, and there's like 3 sets of it, so it ends up being like roughly the same distance, but it's the same kind of vibe. And they do the 1K time trial, which 1K
is 1K time trial.
I just so you just run a halfway, just run between the halfway, there back.
I don't understand. There was a guy. Did you ever work with him, Kia, Wenham Flat?
No, I do.
He's rugby strength coach on Instagram.
I follow him. Yeah, he's interesting.
He was, because it's always like seen as like done things like, you come back into pre-season and you do like a minging fitness test, but he's like, what's the point? Like all you're gonna do is like burn yourself out, so you can't train like for the days afterwards.
Yeah.
And you already know like the people who are gonna do shit here anyway.
Is that day one?
You like come in, you see the cut of people, you know like how. You know if they're going to do well or not.
Yeah, but is that the first thing you do when you literally rock up? That's day one. You just do that test.
Yeah, that's what I'm told anyway. But they've given us homework we have to do. So like a few broken Broncos, I did them on Tuesday, mate. I was off the pace. I was doing like 1 minute 5 splits of 1 rep. I was like, okay, it's going to be a tough season. That's
his way off the pace.
Yeah, that's way off the pace. Yeah, you need to be like.
You got time on you?
Yeah, I've got time. Absolutely.
A week.
When do you actually get back into it?
Yeah, like in a next week after next. Yeah.
Oh, and then you're into pre-season. Same
back
with you.
into the dog food
factory.
I've
got 3 weeks yesterday because we had a week rollover. But our start is quite casual. We go on like a little team building thing, but then it isn't casual. When we're actually in, we do a thing called the. What's the rugby, the RFU test? You know the one?
Yes.
1, 2, 2, 4, 1.
But that's not too. I don't mind that much.
I don't mind it. It's tough, but it's
tough,
not like.
But it's like real short.
It's no bleep test. Did you ever do the bleep test when you were at school?
Yeah, I've done the bleep test. Yeah.
Hideous. Yeah. Hardest test there ever, like in my opinion, all 1500 metres athletics.
So in New Zealand, like when you're playing over there, when I was playing in the ITM, if I didn't get like level 17, I can't remember if it was the bleep or the yo-yo, but they're both pretty similar. You couldn't play. That was it.
You're not eligible to
if
play.
you couldn't get level 17, you were like, you can't play until you get this. It was nutty, bro. But fitness, like the way the training's orientated there is there's so much more cardio.
Yeah, did you when you finished school, did you go back to New Zealand?
I know I went after Irish, so I was about 20, 23, 22.
Whereabouts were you in?
Hawke's Bay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like 7 months in Auckland for North Harbour.
Oh, how did you find it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Like it was cool because it was the first time I moved out. I was only 19. I just finished school. I did a gap year and went there. But like, we had Buck Shelford. You know Buck Shelford?
Yeah.
The legend. He had his testicles.
No bollock. Yeah, the bollock. Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
No.
He had his bollocks cut open.
And playing rugby?
Yeah, not just like it wasn't a construction accident.
Like a fishing accident.
A zipper accident.
I don't know
about Mary.
How does that happen at a
He's
rugby
also
game?
a good rugby player.
Some sharp objects knocking about.
He was playing against the French.
Oh, right.
And apparently they were
filthy.
He actually thinks they were. What was it? No, that's Maradona. It's cancelled. Sorry, cancelled. No, but he basically, it was a very ferocious game, and at the half time he came in and he realised his testicles had come asunder. They were cut completely open. His bollocks were hanging out, and he told the physio to stitch it up, and he played on.
Fair play.
But he was an ex-Navy, and he was mad into like fitness and stuff like that. And we used to do a run every Tuesday around the town and that.
Oh, what? So he was out there as a player when you were out there?
No, he wasn't a player. He was a player like years ago. He was like 450 odd or something when I went out there. He was the coach of the team.
Okay, got you.
He's a bit of a legend, mate. I'm surprised you haven't heard of him.
He got knighted recently. You get knighted?
Is he Sir Buck Shelford, is he?
Something happened to him recently. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. He got some kind of MBE or something like that.
He wasn't. They do like you to be fit. If you're not fit, they are.
They're not. They don't.
What sort of state were you when you went out there?
When I went out there, I was actually okay. When I came back, well, it was not. My mum was in tears at the airport.
What?
Pies.
So I just got let off I just get let off the leash. Like I was like, oh, here we fucking go. I was like on T Nation, you know T Nation. I was like the pound a week diet. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking jack, brother.
Well,
I was eating
like
deep fried
the
sushi.
Monster
I was eating
Moose,
yeah,
milkshakes.
We were ordering in Monster Moose. I had the Jack 3D at the time.
Wait, I got that vision of that
course.
episode of Cartman. You know, he's like beefcake.
Beefcake. Oh man, I remember going deep fried sushi. That was the first time I had it. New Zealand. They get weird out there. They just deep fry all the sushi.
For goodness sake, it's good. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
you don't mean like just deep fried tempura in sushi? You mean
No, the whole
deep
roll.
frying the whole thing.
The maki roll just in there, in the fry. Get down in there, nice and deep, like
With some some aioli. Sounds
If you
great.
wanted that, you could probably have it. I used to have soy. You could buy them. It's all in the same establishment. They sell normal sushi, and they'll have the same. They'll deep fry it all for you if you want it.
So it's like a Mars bar in Scotland, basically.
It is pretty much, yeah.
And the bakeries there are next level. Makes everything.
They are actually
quite
really
sad,
good. The bakeries,
like pies and stuff. Unbelievable.
New Zealand's known for its meat, but I've never heard anyone talking about the wild. But now I'm very intrigued.
Yeah,
the bakeries are incredible, but obviously like the outdoors life, like you could easily survive out there if you got a good shooter, because there's deer just popping out the woodwork.
Yeah, I think
that's where you're just to plug. That's where you're getting your beef organs from, is it not?
beef organ, the whole nose to tail range that we're launching has come from New Zealand.
Ultra Ape Nutrition.
Plug. We haven't done a plug yet. I know we did at the end of last step, but yeah, it's coming in hot.
But we were talking about it earlier. Like, what is the kind of the red tape on that is ridiculous. Surely.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, especially with Brexit now, because there's basically they're bringing in a load of new legislation that when you import animal products into the country, they need to be reviewed by a vet in the country where they are, then by a vet at border control into the UK. So it's been a very delayed process getting these out.
Do you mean a veterinarian?
Yeah.
So a vet is going to observe the powder.
Yeah. So there's vets that work.
That is very nutrient dense.
I
don't know what they actually do, but yeah, you got to pay for a vet to look over the produce.
That's coming out of your pocket, I assume.
Yeah, in border control. Yeah.
What happened to the geezer locally?
The geezer locally just couldn't. Well, two things really. Like the product sold so well that we needed to increase
to up the scale.
Yeah, we need to increase the scale, and then just like doing some research on the nutrient quality because the soil in New Zealand's so good,
it's so fertile. Yeah,
very very fertile. So the quality of the meat is really high. So the micronutrients is literally double than the liver and stuff in the UK. So
how did you get to do that?
What do you mean?
Do you send that off and look at
It's just there's people that have done these tests.
It's already out there. Okay.
Once I get it, I'm gonna have ours tested, so I'll be able to confirm
what you thought.
That's the official.
I can't think they'd have a veterinarian at border control.
Yeah, they do.
No,
so
he's there the whole time.
Yeah, mate. Well, he doesn't live there, but his job is to go there every day. Because you think about it, how many. All the countries in the world, all the companies that are importing meat into the UK, and they've got to come through specific ports. So there'll be a vet at that specific port, and that's what his job is to do.
But they have the power, if they deem it so, to destroy.
Yeah, incinerate.
They can send back or destroy. Yeah, if they.
I wonder how do you reckon they
fit.
destroy it? Incinerator, and it'd be incinerator.
Probably incinerator.
Yeah, just
bazooka.
Bazooka would be more entertaining for sure.
Because we were talking about earlier, weren't we? Max was saying there's these people, these bureaucrats who it's just bizarre. They it's almost like they go out of their way to just fuck up your day. It's just it's the same mindset as those trolls. I just don't understand why. They must be very deeply unhappy with whatever's going on in their life.
Yeah, for sure, man. They're taking that internal environment and putting it into the external, dragging everyone down with them.
Because I put all jobsworths under that banner.
Mate, what I don't get about it, right, is what we were saying earlier. If you're that guy, right, you're a train conductor or you're whatever, and someone's got, by accident, brought the wrong ticket, you've got the opportunity to make their day by letting them off. But they don't. They just bring the hammer down every time.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, you're going to have to buy another ticket.
Do you think that's just down to not being that's a sort of reflection of their own internal kind of narrative?
Yeah, I think. Do
you reckon it's just down to that?
Probably,
God, that's the sad world we live in.
I
was hoping people would be more compassionate and helpful, but yeah, you're right.
What they are literally waiting for is to say they're waiting for you to give them some abuse.
Yeah,
that's
so
they're being so condescending, incredibly condescending. You need to do
you're
this.
better than me. Yeah.
What? It's like, yeah, whatever, mate. Yeah, fuck off. Oh, okay, there we are. Then I call the police. Will be on the train escorting you off in cuffs.
Yeah.
Oh God.
They just tee you up, don't they? They tease that out of you. They just wind you up until you flip, and then they bring the hammer down.
I don't understand these. Like, I think the way they justify it to themselves is they're just like doing their job. They're part of the Matrix. You know, they're just.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the classic line, isn't it? I'm just doing my job.
Oh, you know, it's over my. Like, mate, the other day we were in the farm shop and they told us to follow the one-way system, and like two little cuckolds, we did did exactly what we were told.
Let's play devil's advocate though. What happens if you just let the rules like sort of warp and bend? Then what happens? Does it just become an absolute palaver, like a melee of rule breaking as society just devolves?
Mate, the answer is I don't know, but the point we're at now, I wouldn't mind testing it out.
Yeah.
So you're saying these people, these bureaucrats, in a way, are the pillars of holding
they're
society
like,
up, their atlas.
Yeah, they're the paragon of social virtue. They're just at the top. They know.
If that old fella down the farm shop putting his radishes away didn't tell us to stick to the one-way system, the whole world would fall apart at the
seam. That's it. You've just got to walk the line of order and chaos. But you
I'm
can't
really
go
not. It's tough, man. It's fucking tough. Like,
it's tough, especially at the moment. Obviously, it's been like intense.
It's given rise to a whole new layer of bureaucracy that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like it's brought, it's given power to so many more people that like though that train conductor that had the power on the train. Now that little fist of power has been replicated in so many different areas, and you're seeing all these jobsworths just coming out of the woodwork.
Have you ever heard the expression in a corporal's hand satchel lays a major's baton?
No. That is very niche. Quite interesting.
Because my old man said it to me, and then I was like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "What, have you been living under a rock, mate?" It's like, but that is a niche expression, right?
Yeah, very niche. Yeah. Well, I've never.
Do you understand what it means? No.
Absolutely over my head.
I was actually going to say, can you unpack that?
Absolutely no idea what that means. I think. No, I can't. You just got to go and muse on that.
You like elaborate.
After the podcast.
Yeah, you'll have to look up the ranks and figure out what that all means.
Well, major's higher than corporal. Major's one of the best ones.
I see what you. Now I get it. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Joshy.
No, mate. I can't even remember what you said, to be honest.
No.
Go again.
Inside a corporal's hand satchel lies a major's baton.
Yeah.
And you're saying a major's higher up the ranks than the corporal.
So a major gets the corporal to do his dirty
What
work.
is a baton? That's not actually.
That's the one thing I do know.
Is that what you meant? Oh, right. We're both lost.
What it means is that every corporal wants to be a major, so he has the baton ready when he gets promoted.
Does it really?
Do you not? Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, I was more looking like the little people do the big dog's work. But yeah,
that could also mean that, to be fair. It could also mean that.
Anyway, great saying, man. I'm going to use that regularly.
Well, he's what he said. My old man was shocked when I said that. I have no idea what it meant.
Yeah, your dad has got like an obscure.
He has got an obscure arsenal of phrases. Yeah,
for sure. I found. I've told you this before, but when you read a book and it's like written in the like way the author thinks, and then you find your like internal thoughts now all of a sudden like coming through in the same language as the book. Do you ever have that?
Stream of consciousness.
You know what I'm saying, or do you want me to unpack it?
Unpack it a little bit, elaborate.
Right.
I'm intrigued.
From the start. Say it again.
Okay, so when you read a book, right,
and
it's like the author has got like a specific type of like way he writes the book,
okay,
and then all of a sudden, when you have your own thoughts in your head, you start seeing them kind of through the lens, or you hearing them through the lens of the book you're reading.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I've never got that with anyone when I'm speaking to them in person, apart from your dad. He like speaks in riddles, and then that happens to be in my own head.
He doesn't speak in riddles.
He kind of does.
Harry's dad is like a cryptic Jedi, like Yoda.
Well, if you maybe I'm fluent. I'm fluent in the cryptic. So Max, what was the since the interview? How's life been for you, man?
the
infamous interview.
Yeah. It's been interesting. Yeah, it was odd how viral it went. Because I was trying to temper myself when I'm with Tainton, and then like just before a game when you've taken all the caffeine supplements.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And everything is getting weird. Something's rousing in the blood. But with Taints, it was just good chemistry, and then it flowed nicely.
Who's Taints the guy?
Yeah, like the media manager, wonderful bloke. And yeah, it's been strange, man. Definitely more like commercial opportunities, so to speak.
Surely you've given quite a few interviews like that before.
Yeah.
That one just was the one that caught.
I think it's just more how flowy it is, because on the other ones I'm sort of just almost got like some kind of involuntary set of Tourette's, just throwing out savage similes and stuff. But that one just kind of flowed quite well.
Yeah,
but yeah, maybe I think Sport Bible retweeted it, then it went nuts.
That was it.
Yeah.
Did you know when you were doing it that I'm doing something? This is gonna fucking blow up. This.
No, mate, I had no
Sitting
idea.
on a nuclear war.
Yeah, I'm like, this is going to explode. No, mate, I had no idea. And then suddenly it just started like triggering just going over. I was like, this is nuts, especially on Twitter.
Yeah.
Fully crazy, but it was quite funny. I enjoyed it. I'm glad it resonated with so many people, because rugby's weird like that, isn't it? When you get guys in front of the mic, they just sort of become quite vulnerable, and they just want to stick to status quo. There's a few guys who are sort of quite transparent. I think Genji can be quite funny.
Yeah.
Joe, obviously. Big Joe Marler's out there. It's all the props, mate.
What?
Yeah.
Is that me? Absolute coward.
Yeah.
Just stay low, move fast.
Just
mate.
a mute.
yeah, the guy he's talking about towing the party line. That's passive aggressively.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Do you know what I think it is? Because I was thinking about this about MMA. Is I think everyone's scared of getting shown up.
Oh yeah,
So, Matt, I
the
always feel
scrutiny.
like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you, there's like a culture in sport. If you say something, that's, you know what I mean. Say you say something a little bit out there, like I think we're gonna win. And then you play and you don't win, everyone's like, dickhead, you know what I mean? Like, you're lost.
Yeah.
Whereas in like, and plus it's a team sports, you're not accountable for everyone in the team, whereas if it's like more individual sports, I guess they can say what they want because they're fully accountable or something like that.
It's weird that, isn't it? Because in MMA or boxing or like any martial arts, like everyone's so confident, they're like dead set they're going to win. And like you said, when you watch team sports, I don't know, especially with rugby as well, like everyone seems to be like proper modest about, I don't know whether that's like a UK thing or whether it's like worldwide. But like no one's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go put our foot on their throat and put 50 points on them.
No, they're certainly not. But I think it's because they just don't want to get embarrassed. That's what I think it comes down to.
Yeah, but I guess when it does come down to it, there's always gonna be trolls, isn't there? So I reckon you could just fly into it anyway. If you got tough enough skin, it would just make it more entertaining, wouldn't it?
It would do, but I don't know who's the canary in the coal mine in that situation, because I'm not.
Shall I do it?
Well, yeah, do you want to do it, Max? Now you've got this new platform.
It would be quite fun to just like call out blokes for crack, just on like social media and stuff. Imagine how much that like almost like WWE style. Just be like, I'm about to put you in more reverse gears than an Italian tank at Harry Williams.
Do you think people would?
I reckon that some people would love it, but mate, I reckon a lot of people would see through it. But if you could like get the right bloke who would enjoy that, like imagine if you did it with Genji, it'd be hilarious. Like when he sledges, he's gifted. He's a witty man. He's given me some funny ones in my time.
Where are you? Where do you stand on the sledging? Do you sledge?
Not really. I'll say the odd phrase, but I'm not going to like completely denigrate someone in front of me in a witty way.
Do you feel you have that power in your hands? You choose not to.
Yeah, but I feel like I'd only do it if I was on the front foot. You know what I mean? After like the first two scrums, I'd be like, yes, I'll have my way with you this game, and then I'd throw some stuff in. But if I'm down at Welford Road and I'm getting pumped, I'll be, well, long day.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are.
Better
right.
keep my mouth shut.
I am a worthless piece of shit.
You are indeed right. I am on rollerblades, Genji. But like, yeah, I don't know. It could be. Or do you reckon? I reckon the fans would love that.
I honestly don't know, mate. I think they're a hard beast to predict.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Fans.
It's crying out for it, mate. I think it's crying out for it. Like a Conor McGregor style actor to come into rugby.
I reckon if you did it well, it could work.
I'm really not sure, brother. I'm really not sure.
But then there's like the authenticity angle to it. Like in MMA, sometimes you can tell when it's like a bit of an act, and they're just like going back and forth to sell pay-per-views.
Exactly.
And then you can tell when it's like they really fucking hate each other. And I think like with rugby, I couldn't imagine anyone ever doing it with like malice. You know what I mean? It would always be a bit
enough venom to make
tongue-in-cheek.
it like legit. Yeah.
Well, that's like Colby Covington, isn't it? You just like see through it so
Oh
fake.
my god, yeah, he's awful. Yeah, it's so disingenuous. There's no way you can be that much of a bastard, is there?
I think, but the thing is, you see him when he's like, when they do the embedded and stuff like that, and he's walking around. He's quite like a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like I think he's.
Yeah, it's blatantly an act.
So
like,
cool.
it's blatantly an act.
You know, Corbazero, he used to hang out with him because he used to train at American Top Team.
Oh, did he?
He dabbled.
What is he? Is he a martial artist?
Yeah, he likes to throw hands every now and again. He loves wrestling.
He
was like mates. He was mates with like Mo and that, like King Mo, and they all trained down there. I think it's American Top Team. Yeah, isn't that?
It's in Florida. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah. So, he hanged out with Colby, and yeah, he says he's a good man. So
Really? So just the whole thing's like
I think
a
he just
complete
had.
act.
Yeah, I think there's a fair bit of sort of soap opera there.
I think he was like on the verge of getting cut from the UFC, wasn't he? And then like he basically reinvented himself, came up with this whole like MAGA hat, Trump act,
like heel. Yeah.
and then he got on a tear. And like I think, to be honest, besides maybe Wonderboy, like he's probably got best shot at the title now.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, mate.
I don't think anyone could be a husband, mate.
You don't reckon?
No, I think he's. I wasn't originally sold on him, but now I'm a fan. Like just because he's so good at MMA.
Mate, I agree. Like I was a similar sort of thing because I struggled with his personality a little bit, to be honest. Like in the original fights, but it was the last fight when he beat Jorge for the second time. I was just like,
just chinned him. Like fair enough.
It's undeniable now, isn't it? Really.
But the thing I find that I like about him is he's so active, whereas
some champs are pretty. Yeah, I know what you mean.
they don't do like that. Like it's honestly it's not. The boxing stuff is just like a joke, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's too much bureaucracy. Like all the promoters and like all the loops they have to jump through to get a fight set up. That's the beauty of the UFC with Dana. It's like Dana's the boss, right? He just tells everyone who's fighting each other.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of that shit. Like John Jones is playing around at the moment.
Yeah, that's a shame. I'm annoyed about that.
Yeah, it is a massive shame.
I want to see that freak show at heavyweight. It would be so fun. But he probably did lose his last fight.
Against who? It was against Reyes.
Reyes, yeah.
You reckon he lost that?
Mate, it was tight. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched. I thought because he was coming on so much stronger at the end of the fight.
That was it. It's hard when you're trying to fight a champ like him because if you don't like win really convincingly on the cards or knock him out, usually it's like the same with GSP and Hendricks. Like, the champs usually keeps the belt.
Yeah, and I think that's fair enough as well.
No, I sort of agree with that.
No,
as well.
I don't necessarily agree. I think that like it's just the sport of MMA. If you win the fight, you should win the belt, even if it is close. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. But some of those fights, right? Like, there's no clear cut winner. Like, a lot of fights it ends, and you're like, oh, wow, I wouldn't be mad if it went either way.
Yeah.
I think in those scenarios,
just go the way of the champ.
Yeah, it stays with the champ. Like.
Fair play.
Predictions while we're on the topic for this weekend.
McGregor.
You reckon McGregor this time?
I can't. I find myself. He hypnotises me every time.
Everyone believes.
I'm the same.
He'd lose, and then next time he fight, next time he fights, he could be fighting a silverback gorilla, and I'm like,
McGregor.
He's back. He's back.
Mate, every fight, I'm like, if he loses this one, the mystique's gone. Like he's over, and that just same narrative every single.
The mystique is still very much intact.
It's still there, man.
Who do you reckon?
My heart wants McGregor, but my brain tells me Poirier.
Really?
Yeah.
I think McGregor's going to kill him.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I'll
the mystic.
Yeah, what's the
mystic Mac has seduced you
Round
again.
one.
Round one.
Round one, first exchange. I reckon McGregor's going to.
I reckon if it stays in 3 rounds, McGregor's going to win. Only in those rounds, and then after that, the longer it goes, the harder it is.
Yeah, for sure.
It's quite weird because there was a period like. I remember like years ago, because the reason why I'll be gutted if McGregor loses is because it will be like the end of the McGregor era if he loses this one, I think.
Well, I don't know.
There's no other fight for him apart from Nate Diaz.
Yeah, the trilogy with Nate.
Yeah, but I just think even then, the thing that was always he's a sick businessman, he's loads of money, but the thing behind it all was he was like this unbelievable.
He was
scrapper
also very
as well.
good at scrapping. Yeah, you want him to stay at the top. I agree. I really want him to win by that, just for that point.
Yeah,
just for the entertainment. You just need him in the sport. Yeah. You don't need him, but he's wonderful to watch. He's hilarious.
Well, if he wins, right, he then goes and fights for the title.
Be a terrible bloke, though. the stuff that comes up in the news. You're just like, wow.
It doesn't anything comes out about it. Oh, yeah,
But it's Teflon. He's
I don't care.
the Teflon dog.
It's the same with John Jones, exactly the same in that regard.
Just wild men. Just do
Like
what they
that
want.
interview he did with Joe Rogan where he talks about the car crash and stuff, and it was like he was like, yeah, I went back and I got my bong, and like he's very concerned with him getting locked up, not the woman he's hit.
Yeah, it's nutty. He's crazy.
But there's just for some reason I always just get drawn back to him like a moth to the flame to McGregor. But then I think I'm buzzing to see Wonderboy fight again as well.
Yeah, I love Wonderboy.
Predictions on that one?
Yeah, I think
Wonderboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and then what? He gets the title shot then if he wins.
Do you think Wonderboy is that nice? Really?
No, you like watch him and when his eyes go and you're like in the ring, you're like, whoa.
Do you think when he's back at home he's like a bit of a bastard?
I reckon sparring. I reckon he lights people up.
Really?
Yeah, but like day to day life, like.
You know what I'm saying? When he's like, when he's down the supermarket.
I think it's overrated how nice he is. Yeah.
Really?
That's
I think
like
it's almost
USP.
it's sort of like gathered momentum now. But I think you're like to be that good at knocking people out. There's some kind of darkness in you.
But I don't know whether just like some like karate kid.
Or you reckon he's just like I just love kicking, man.
What? Because like martial arts isn't like the whole thing about it is quite all about peace and that, isn't it? As my days as a karate.
Yeah, but did you
I
hear
did karate myself?
Did you
it's
hear
all about the defense, the Jedi way, you know?
Yeah, like that's like. But did you hear him on Joe Rogan? Like he was like, his dad sounded like a savage.
Yeah, I think he used to like run him up. He would like used to train. He's one of those like child. Like,
Yeah.
Is he ex-military? His dad? They've both got that buzz cut, haven't they? It's like
he's a savage. But yeah, I think it's overrated how nice the nice guy belt and stuff. Nicest motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't know.
it's not got much of draw that bad.
No, it really doesn't. Like who else is up for that?
Yeah.
The nicest.
we've just broke the pay-per-view records with the nice guy belt on the line.
Yeah, who would actually fight him for that though?
That's a good question.
Who else is nice?
Like who comes across as a smiling assassin?
Cyril Gane. Bon Gamin means
Bon Gamin.
the good boy, I think, or something, the good child. Or like the nice lad. Something like that.
And he's because he's actually a nice guy?
I think he's never disrespected his opponent. He's always like...
There's got to be
Have
quite
you seen him? He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, he's a freak, mate.
Yeah,
Like
I was surprised by how well he moved for how big he is. Like
6'5", 6 foot across the shoulders.
And he was bouncing the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole fight. He moved like a middleweight. It was nutty. I was like, oh god.
But
do either of you fancy a little route into MMA post rugby?
I've only got so much CTs to induce on myself after this sport.
no.
Absolutely not.
I think I'm like way too soft. Like like levels too soft to do that.
What?
I actually
As
can't.
in punching someone or taking a punch?
Yeah, pillow hands, glass chin, and also pee hard.
It's a trifecta that makes a good MMA fighter.
Just a couple of pee hard.
No, nothing like that. I hope not. I think you've done. I don't think it even matters if you have a big heart. I think that it takes a different mentality to do that. Like, I couldn't. Like when Tony Ferguson was getting his knee popped out and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I
just can't.
Yeah, they've all got a screw loose. That's for sure.
All right, Exeter Chiefs. Who could you see being a scrapper?
I could see Luke Count Dickey doing MMA.
Oh yeah, fair.
I could see him.
He's a bit nutty.
He's quite sort of
abrasive.
He's abrasive, but he's one of those guys. He's like quite picks off stuff like real quickly.
Oh really?
He's got quite an obsessive personality. I think he played like a load of COD and golf.
Yeah, I heard he was a savage codsman.
Yeah. Number one in the world apparently for a short period.
Yeah, for search and destroy.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, that's the hardcore.
Yeah, that's legit.
Maps.
Yeah. He's like he is quite obsessive, mate. When he does something, he does it. He's all in. Like.
You say before he did like a 24-hour or 48-hour COD marathon where he didn't sleep and...
No, he did a 24-hour Twitch stream.
No.
I think.
Just played for 24
Twitch
hours.
is the one, right?
Yeah.
It's good for the circadian rhythm, those 24-hour gaming sessions.
Well, I see it as like a little jump start, a little change up.
Yeah.
You'd have a good kip after that, wouldn't you?
Well, maybe not, actually. It might be wired for days.
Square rise. What about the Bears?
The Bears. Nah, I don't. There's no one that really sticks out at me. Oh, maybe Jan Thomas actually.
Really?
Yeah, like sometimes I see it there. It just comes out of him in like a when an academy boy gets a bit too much or someone's going too hard, suddenly you're like, oh god, Jan's about to go
goes like
off.
black
Yeah,
in the
you're
eyes.
like, you see the wild eyes, and you're like, and then you see him trading hands with a punch bag, and you're like, yeah, he's got skills. He's got.
What
skills.
do they do? Do they do the Queensbury rules of the Queensbury?
Not really, but there used to be a punch bag at Clifton RFC, and like Jan would do stuff, but he also does pad work with Kyle and Ben R. So he'll do like extras of them and give them some pointers and stuff.
What, has he got a background in the sweet science?
Yeah, he's dabbled. Yeah, and it's quite impressive to watch. He's a big fella as well.
I find that thing, if you've had a little bit of training at boxing, if you had a scrap with someone who's had no formal training,
that would
you like put him in hospital quite easily. Yeah.
That or jiu-jitsu.
You've had a bit of training, haven't you?
Done a bit, yeah. I did MMA for a bit, then boxing for a bit, and then Muay Thai. So yeah, I've done a bit over the years.
Oh, wow.
But like most of it when I was younger, like I was boxing when I was like 16 for a couple of years, and then Muay Thai more recently. That's what I did when I was in London. For like
what do you think?
It's fucking hard, Muay Thai, like really hard.
What, on like the body?
It's just mentally, like, because when you, especially when you're used to boxing, just used to throwing hands, and like you're expecting punches to come from people's upper bodies effectively, and then you throw kicks into the mix. It's just like, it's a complete game changer.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Like checking leg kicks and stuff. Oh, it must hurt.
Have you ever taken a leg kick?
Mate, I've taken some leg kicks. In one of my earlier sessions, I was so fucking, because the fitness, you've done some boxing, haven't you? The fitness is just
I
like
did
ridiculous.
a couple of sessions, yeah.
And I got towards the end, and we were sparring at the end of the session. I was so tired. I was too tired to check the leg kicks, so I was just taking them. I was just taking it, and this guy just landed the leg kick, exactly the same in my leg at the same time. Just like hobbling for days.
Do you feel like, so when it happens, when you're fighting and you feel it hit, are you like, oh, that hurts?
Yeah,
or are you
it
sort of
hurts.
like just cracking on, and then you realise that you're rendered immobile?
Well, it's the same as rugby. Like, obviously at the time it doesn't hurt as much. You got adrenaline going,
Bust
blah,
up,
blah.
yeah.
But then after, it fucking can kill. Really hurts. So.
Well, they're just aiming for that nerve on the side.
Yeah, you just you just pick a
Median
spot and
nerve,
they
is
just
that what I
like
think
chop
it
it
is?
over and over again.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's horrific.
Just dead legs for days, except people are trying to give them to you.
Yeah, it's proper addictive, man.
Tasty.
Really, really addictive. Yeah, I found like I was like going to bed at night envisaging like sequences in my head. I was like, yeah, this is.
Have you ever wanted to carry it on down it?
I want to do my next thing. I want to do is BJJ. To be honest, as soon as like I get the business settles a little bit and get some more spare time, I'm gonna start going BJJ a couple of times a week.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some of that when I finish playing. Like, do you reckon that'd be too hard on the rig? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Nah, I reckon it's all right.
You've
It's
done
pretty
a bit,
low.
haven't you?
It's pretty low impact. Like no gis can be. It's the wrestling that's a bit fruity, but and like lively scrambles. But
Have you done it before?
Yeah, I've done a bit. But like with the gi, it's pretty chill. I find it's quite slow.
Really? Did you have any belts or anything like that?
Because you've got because I've always been like in and out of it with rugby.
Yeah.
So I've never really had enough time at one place to really get into it. The place down at Bristol, Sweatbox, is really good.
Is that a place where you trained as well?
Yeah, not BJJ, just like normal.
They've got some good.
Did you find you took to BJJ easy? Like, was there any crossover from rugby, like body positions or anything like that? Which
it's
helped
just
you?
you've got like good because your hips are so powerful. Like your sweeps and stuff are pretty good. Like you're good at like knowing how to apply your weight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
especially if you like wrestling already. You've already got a pretty formidable athletic background playing rugby, so you can be quite like.
Does weight count for anything in that? Obviously, if you're a bigger fella, could you hose like a little 50 kilo?
Depends what belt the 50.
Black
like
belt,
if
black
you had
belt.
no, I don't think you'd take a black belt 50 kilo.
I reckon you could do a blue belt. What about a woman? Black belt.
That's interesting. Actually, I'm not sure.
What,
I don't think
untrained?
so.
No. A black belt, straw weight woman versus white belt, heavyweight man. Max Lahiff.
I don't. You'd like to think I'd bat myself. Yeah.
Would you? Physics.
Yeah, I just think there's. If you have a basic understanding of jiu-jitsu, you'd probably be all right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Powerful.
But you can watch YouTube and you can see some fruity stuff happen from like a black belt woman against some big geezers. So probably go either way, to be honest. But like, I reckon you could easily, if you're like already quite like, if you're already like really like wrestling and stuff, you could see off for like an old geezer with a blue belt. For
Do
sure.
you reckon?
Yeah. I reckon.
I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought, because I thought the whole point of the belt system there was you should be able to beat everyone who's a lesser belt than you. Is that not?
Nah, because some people take to it so well. There's still like a natural ability to it, and especially if you think sort of already the minute you start doing it, and you're already beginning to like piece together sequences and how you're going to choke someone out. You can already, and if you're strong enough to apply these sort of like a cross collar choke, man, like that's ideal for a big fella like us. You just grab both collars. If you get on guard, and you could just cut those bad boys off really.
I don't know. I see myself as more of a no gear.
Yeah, mate, no gear's almost more because it relies more on athleticism.
Do you wear a t-shirt with no gear?
You don't have to. You can get naked and weird.
You wear a rash vest, don't you?
I'd want to wear like Stone Cold elbow knee pads and then pants
and like a
trunks,
pair of budgies and like knee-high boots. Yeah.
Do you remember when he used to wear 2 knee braces?
Yeah,
when he used to run with denim shorts.
Yeah. Like these puppies.
Well, yeah, actually dressed quite similar to what you're dressing.
Oh God, he's seen through my ruse. But yeah, you have to wear usually you wear like a rash vest and like board short kind of vibes.
Yeah, I never like the rash vest. Like I actually think they could do a little bit for their image. Like like the tap out look, that kind of
yeah.
I don't think it's a good look at all.
I was watching the Joe Rogan with what's his name, John Danaher.
John Danaher. This guy always wears a rash.
He literally never takes it off.
Never takes it off.
He's got a special rash vest to go on dates.
Yeah, no special.
Yeah, what's he called?
John Danaher.
He wears a rash vest all
24/7.
No,
I swear.
I don't know if he sleeps in one, but every time he goes out, he wears a rash vest.
Hey, this guy's has a doctorate in philosophy as well. Like he's lectured in philosophy.
He's fascinating guy.
Super intelligent.
You're kind of really good at remembering things.
Yeah,
sounds quite kind of not that social.
So he's like
sounds quite spectrum.
No, definitely something interesting going on. But he's a Kiwi who used to play rugby and he blew his knee out and then he got like fascinated by jiu-jitsu and now he trains like the top guys in the sport.
He was a professor, wasn't he? He was like a professor.
Yeah, he's a philosophy professor at Columbia, I think.
And now he's gone, and then he changed like who's the really famous athlete? Gordon Ryan. Yeah,
he's the Don, isn't he? Gordon Ryan.
Yeah,
he's the GOAT.
King Gordon.
But I think he's like knackered at the moment because he's got serious gut problems.
Yeah, what's he got? It's where he's always full.
Yeah, well, I listened to him on Joe Rogan as well. He said he thinks it was triggered by antibiotics and he like cleaned out his gut.
That's what he thinks. Yeah,
and now he basically can't train properly. He's in like agonising pain all the time. So he was like the best in the world.
Can't eat red meat or anything. He has to eat like chicken and rice or something.
Yeah, and I think he's actually like retired now because it's so bad. But when he was speaking about it, I was just thinking there's so many people that could fix this problem.
I know it sounds like he hasn't really explored some
he needs
proper avenues on that kind of vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
While we're on gut issues, you're good like cooking, didn't you, Max?
Yeah, I dabble. I'm a deft hand in the kitchen, Harry.
If you were cooking someone, anyone, 3 courses, as God intended, 3 courses, starter, main, dessert.
As God intended, yeah.
How would you? What would they be?
So at the moment, Semi Radradra brought this wonderful dish into my life called kokonda, and it's basically like a sort of a ceviche almost, but it's like served with coconut milk and like diced, like almost like a pico de gallo. So you have like salmon.
What does that mean?
Pico de gallo is like I actually don't know what it translates. I think it translates to chicken feed in literal, but basically what it is like diced up tomatoes, red onion, and like coriander.
Oh, nice.
It's like a wonderful garnish for Mexican food and stuff. But you sort of put that in with sort of raw fish that's cooked in lime juice. You then transfer that raw fish into coconut milk with a little bit more lime juice just for the acid. And you sort of mix it all together in little martini glasses.
That sounds good.
Oh, mate, so good. So that would be my starter right now because I'm pretty obsessed.
And that's just a small glass full?
Yeah, I just give you a small glass because it's quite dense, quite calorific. So I just give you a small glass.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's a good stuff. And then for the main, so at the moment I'm obsessed with. I found this rendang recipe, and I've got this hunter who sends me. I pay for like a carcass of venison.
Oh yeah. Do you butcher that yourself?
No, I would love to learn, but I just get him to butcher it, and then he sends the whole thing to me.
Is that
offal included?
Offal included, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Be angry. I saw that. Saw a lot
that-
of anger flash across Josh's eyes there when you thought that offal was put in the bin.
Is the offal included?
Nose to tail every day. Yeah. But it's basically I get these shanks with it, just like a lamb shank, and I just make this. It's an Indonesian curry, super spicy. It's wonderful though. It's sort of like, I think it's the king of curries. Maybe that and like a musman, but rendang is one of my favorites. So it's sort of like a dry curry. So you reduce it down like over a 6-hour period.
Oh Lord!
Right down into this like ichor of spicy greatness, and you just garnish it on the and the shank just cooks in there the whole time, and it comes out butter soft. And then for dessert,
What's that? Is that served with wild rice?
no jasmine. I love the fluffy good stuff, or sushi. I like it.
Sushi rice.
Yeah, I know that's
Kind of like your
frowned upon.
East West fusion.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, delicious.
I love
Well, actually,
those
they're both
ones.
Eastern there. Sorry,
Yeah.
East
But
East
yeah.
eats fusion, and then pudding.
Oh gosh, pudding. I haven't got like a strong repertoire of puddings. I can make a pretty mean set of brownies, but that's just brownies, isn't it? It's a bit
Brownies?
boring, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
couldn't serve. It's a dinner party.
Unacceptable. Yeah, absolutely. You're so right. Probably like a fondant or something. Yeah, just a chocolate.
Chocolate fondant. That sounds good.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh?
It wipes the floor. I was thinking like barbecue or Sunday roast.
Just meat and veg.
I'm like a sort of old school cook. Nothing fancy. Meat, veg,
2 veg.
happy days.
Well, so that's
Yeah, you
you're not
can't
even
go
going
wrong
to
with
offer
that.
up 3 dishes. Going to do a
Sets of
barbecue.
meat.
Yeah.
The mixed grill.
Do a barbecue. Meat for starters, meat for main, and then meat for dessert. There you go, sorted.
No,
Meat
you
for
do
dessert.
healthy. You do nice healthy desserts.
Yeah, I just have your.
Nah, that's
your
all
nut
Izzy,
fudge
man.
thingies.
The best thing she does at the moment is that she makes like a healthy cookie dough with almond flour and honey and like dark chocolate chips. It's banging.
And you're
that
no
does
part
sound
of that.
good.
Huh?
You're no part of that. That's
No,
solely
but
her enterprise.
she's the dessert is her territory.
Could you
she's
do
really
it?
good at all those. Like,
Could you
healthy
make
desserts.
it?
Could I make it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have a go at it. Yeah. So
Oh, fair.
it's pretty straightforward. It's just like coconut oil in the pan with a bit of almond flour, some sweetener like honey or date paste or something like that, and then dark chalk, and then you get some of that. What's the healthy bouja like the clean ice cream?
Yeah, that is nice.
Oh, that is good stuff. Those the truffles they do as well. Oh, sorry, continue though.
The truffles are good.
They do truffles.
The truffles.
Very- yeah.
Like chocolate truffles, I assume.
Oh my god, man! You need to get amongst them ASAP. They are pancreas beating. Yeah.
So yeah, just serve that up with it because it's like quite rich, and then you balance that out with like a sort of lighter ice cream, some vanilla-y.
Yeah, I get
Very
you.
good.
I get you. Don't overwhelm the palate too much.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Harry? Go on.
I'm intrigued.
Soup of the
Soup of the day.
steak and trifle every time.
Yeah.
No, but no, I'm quite similar to Josh. I don't really my repertoire is quite limited. I probably do a charcutes to start, but high quality
Yeah.
charcuterie board
Yeah, that's
with little
lovely.
gherkins,
Yeah.
and then
So meat for meat. So meat for start.
The little gherkins are key.
and
They
then I
just
do
level it up.
Oh, it sounds real basic, but like a spag bowl. Like,
Hey, a good spag bowl. I haven't.
have you heard this? Apparently, apparently spag bowl, and he's a mate of mine, Josh, a mate, and maybe he'll come on the pod another time and confirm it. Apparently, real spag bowl is not mince; it's oxtail.
Pancetta.
It's oxtail.
Who said that?
Sam Harris.
No, I've never heard that before.
I always thought it was like a. It was veal, pork, and beef mince, but fair play.
He says he does it with, you do it with oxtail and celery, which I'm actually quite anti-celery in any form.
No. This is how I do it. Oh boy. So, carrot, celery, onions.
No,
So you
man,
make a
no,
sofrito,
come on. Yeah,
dice
come on,
them
sorry.
Dice them right down. Cook them off. Wait till they like fond on the pan. So they should be sticking. The sugar should be caramelizing. It's all about fond generation. with
Where's the
these-
sugar coming from?
the vegetables, like the carrots and the onion and the celery.
Right.
Like, and then what happens is you then add your selection of meat. At the moment, I'm using the venison meat mince I get.
Quite a lean mince.
Wonderful, and a little bit of pork mince because we need that fat content.
Yep.
Cook that off until it fonds. Then you add your tomato puree.
Yeah.
Cook that off until it fonds. Then you should have like a nice, healthy, ichor at the bottom of your pan, like proper, like lining the pan. Then you add your red wine.
Red.
Deglazed. It doesn't matter actually, really. But I use red. I'm not back. Then I deglaze the bottom of the pan. And then I basically fill that with stock. But water will do. And you just cook it for at least 2 hours. But the longer the better, in my experience. And then what you'll have at the end of that is... This is cheating, by the way. And most Italians would, like, crucify you. But I had, like, double cream right at the end.
Really?
Just about 250 millilitres.
Is that not too much, the double cream?
Oh, well, you tell me when you get that down, yeah, and you'll be like, no, give me more.
I don't know if I'd see it as like I don't know if it's an unnecessary addition.
I think it's just really quite wonderful on the palate. It's just velvety.
But I would sort of see, this is how I'd do it. Garlic, onion, mushroom.
Oh, God. He's a charlatan, ladies and gentlemen. Kill him now. Continue.
Garlic. Not even normal garlic, just garlic, ready chopped garlic, stored in brine. Half a jar.
My
cooked
God.
in veggie oil, Joshy.
Oh, heresy.
No, never cooked in veggie oil. I haven't since.
Not anymore.
Bad for your skin. That's an ape nutrition hot tip. Never ever use vegetable oil
Your
or
sunbed.
rapeseed.
What do you use?
Butter. Made from an unpasteurised cow sauce.
Tallow and butter.
Some of that tallow, yeah.
What's tallow? You never told me about that.
Beef drippings.
Beef, yeah.
Basically.
Oh, right.
That's what is better for high heat cooking.
Do you use that?
That's what we used last night on those steaks, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we won't talk about that. Right now.
The only problem is your kitchen completely is just coated in oil, so you have to clean it the whole time.
Yeah.
You realise that because there was a period where I cleaned student houses. Did you clean student houses with me?
No,
you weren't doing that.
No.
We were cleaning student houses for just like a bit of extra money. It's been like 10 years ago, and the level of like where grease can get to is actually like
when it vaporizes. Fuck.
We clean these kitchens, and the grease would be, you'd have to move the fridge out, and in the farthest corner down there would be grease stored in the bottom corner. You'd have to like get to.
No, mate, dark.
Yeah, me and Craig did that.
I remember when I was at college, we used to we weren't allowed an oven or anything, so like 16 to 18, but we had a kitchen space with just what do we have? Oh, so everyone brought in like George Foreman's.
Yeah, like
like George Foreman like crack, and everyone would just leave it, and the tray would start overflowing, and then eventually like every month or so you'd like prise your George Foreman off the counter from all the fat, and couldn't clean it. You'd have to like scrape the fat. Bin it, and then eventually you'd be able to clean the counter down. It's a pretty dark situation.
It's weird. Did you ever live in an academy house?
Yeah.
What kind of state was it in?
It was, it got pretty fucked up, man. Who did I live with? Matt Garvey, Jamie Gibson, Kieran Lowe was a weird.
You're the same age as Matt Garvey.
No, I'm not the same age as him. He was like a late bloomer.
Late academy entry.
So he started, one of those late lads.
What club is this?
This was at London Irish, but we fucked that house up real bad. Yeah, Jamie Gibson, questionable like hygiene as well. We used to call him Stinky Pete, the smelliest boffin you ever come across.
Really,
like really intelligent guy though, but I'm sure he's fine now though.
Was it the thing is, it feels like when you have one of these houses, it gets to the point where there's only so much cleaning you can do, and you have to just accept it's going to be an absolutely just rancid hellhole.
Mate, the problem I've always found when you're sharing with a big group of people, there's no accountability because everyone just blames each other.
Yeah, no accountability whatsoever.
And then you just take the perspective of like, well, I haven't made the mess, so I'm not cleaning it up, and everyone takes that, and then nothing happens.
We had to just clean up whenever like Neil Hatley would come. The academy manager at the time would like come round. He'd like be knocking on the windows. Everyone drops to the floor because like the other house up the road, they'd always have him first, so they'd like let us know we were having the house inspection.
Like the beacons.
So we'd get it. We locked the whole house, shut the curtains, and all just hit the deck whilst he was trying to get in. It was good times, but most of the time we just hoarded vouchers and just hit like Wagamama or Pizza Express and stuff.
I do feel it's quite like I don't know whether it's individual to rugby or not, but it seems like there's something to do with the sport where there's always an academy house massive with like 10 blokes in, always a complete shithole.
Yeah.
And I think it is in a way it's quite character building, or like you have to kind of go through that. I think you do get it's quite enriching to live through that, even though it's sort of like weird and stuff at the time. You do kind of
it's
learn
so
quite a lot
much
of
fun,
socials,
isn't it?
and it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Did you do that when you were you in like an academy house at Jersey?
No, I just live with lads over there. The sort of similar-ish experience I was. The flat I moved to in New Zealand was like it was infested with rats when we first got over there.
Fucking hell.
Which kind of like
It's a great start.
yeah.
Good starting point.
When I walked in, it's like, hey mate, yeah. So and the toilet was just like beyond stinky, like disgusting. And I was like, yeah, you see a rat in here occasionally, mate. And I was like, oh, fuck, I thought surely he's joking. Next morning, first rat
sighting.
on the middle of the floor, just like running around. Mate, a rat came up through the toilet.
Just had a swim.
No, I just don't know. The drains, they lived in the drains, and his head was just up in the toilet bowl, and he couldn't get out. I flushed him back down. I didn't know what am I supposed to do with that.
Mate, you can never go for like an easy shit again after.
Well, no, they're not like gonna come up and like
Have a crack.
crawl into your jacksie. They're like,
how do you know, man?
Well, because he couldn't get out. He was stuck in the toilet bowl.
What, he died in there?
Well, I assume he died. I flushed him back down the toilet. I can't.
Rat gate.
He was in there for a bit, and while I thought about what to do with him, I just sent him back down. I thought I gave him a sailor's goodbye, you could say.
Fair enough.
I was pretty lucky with like academy houses or like living arrangements that I was given from rugby clubs. Like, I never really got put with any peckers either, so it's been pretty good. Clermont though, when I went there and I did the medical and my neck fell through, but they put me in like an absolute Harry Potter's bedroom of an apartment. It was ridiculous, mate.
Well, were you at the mercy of the...
I was only there for like the World Cup.
Understairs cupboard. There it is.
It was so small. I felt like I was in Mega City 1, like in some strange sci-fi sort of apartment. It was nutty. I was like, how do people live like this? But yeah.
What was it like? Was it an open plan kitchen, bedroom, toilet?
No, it was all just... No, the kitchen was literally like, I don't know. Yeah, from this sofa sort of like that much space.
Well, so like...
Yeah, just if you squared this sofa off, it was literally that big. And it just had the hob, a few cupboards, and like a microwave. And then it went straight into... But it did have its own room, but it had like one of those like stable doors into the living room. But the living room was like half the size of this room here. And then you had a bedroom, and that was it. And a toilet, sorry, yeah. With
a standing shower, I assume?
Absolutely.
Was it like... When you went over there to Clermont, because you failed the medical, did you know that your neck was bad? Were you like, I'm going to be lucky to get out of this? Or did they say the results and you were like, I didn't even know I had that?
No, I knew I had a fruity neck, but I was assuming that it was okay, seeing as I played like 6 years of rugby since I'd been diagnosed with it in Australia, and I thought they'd be all right with it. But yeah, the minute I saw her, like after I got the scan, and then she was like, "Come with me, please," I was like, "Oh, here we go. I'm off to the guillotine." What
Come with me, please.
Come with me, please. I was
put your head through that hole.
Yes, time to be executed. Kiss my French aspirations goodbye.
How did that run? The woman there and then said, "Can you come with me?"
Literally, so got the MRI. Had to sit in the waiting room while she read the scan straight after. And then she was like, come with me, please. And then I was like, and I just knew it was ominous just by her body language and tone. But yeah, it's happened to a few guys. It's happened to quite a lot of dudes though.
So why is the stand, like, why were you not okay for there, but then you're all right for Bristol? Is it just a discretion of the club?
It's a discretion of like neurosurgeons. In France, they have like a really definitive framework of what's allowed in the front row in their league. So if you were to sign as a prop or a hooker for the French league, you have to get a mandatory scan of your cervical spine, and then they have these 3 grades, and I was like the worst grade. So 2 and 1 you can play, 3 you have to get electives. So they were like, you have to get a double fusion if you want to play in France electively. I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Have you never had it operated on?
No.
A double fusion.
I've got I get like a little, if I go searching for it, I can get a little ping here and there, and I get the odd stinger over the season, but it's not really.
Well, so basically it's just like stable.
Yeah, it's stable. So like so they were like, have the elective double fusion. I was like, oh my god, absolutely not. So then I came back, saw a guy in Bristol who's like, AKA the headsman. He's ended more careers than sort of ACL. And then he was like, "You're absolutely fine. Crack on, pal." And I was like, "Sweet." So yeah, that was.
And then you got the offer from Bristol.
And then I got the offer from Bristol. Yeah.
And here we are now.
Is this something you're gonna have to like review post career?
I imagine so. Like praying in the front row is just slightly attritional for the old spine, isn't it? Yeah. So
all that getting fused together by itself, you don't need a operation.
I don't think it's like it's more the facet joint openings for the nerve, which is sort of slightly compromised, but only on my left side. So
how did it happen? Was it like a specific incident or just?
Nah, it's just
wear and tear kind of thing.
Wear and tear, yeah.
Did you do any like training or anything like that when you were over at Clermont then?
Yeah, I did a bit. I did a week or so. Mate, unbelievable facility.
Yeah, ridiculous, isn't it?
Incredible. Like one of the Bristol's is really good. It's like the second best after Clermont. Like Clermont was nutty, man. Amazing club.
Really?
But the city, Jesus.
It's quite
industrial, terrible.
It's it's in the middle of the country, isn't it?
It's like middle south, yeah. It's basically like built around the tyres in that rugby team, that whole place.
Really?
Yeah. It's quite desolate.
Generally, the lads who play there, like normally quite enjoy it, though, don't they? Especially the guys with families and stuff like that.
I could see how they'd enjoy it, yeah, for sure. But there's like the country around it's lovely and stuff. It's still like a good enough city. It's just like when you want to go to France, you're like, I want to go to like Toulouse or Paris or Lyon.
Yeah.
But then you go to Clermont and it's a big club, it's a big deal. But then you're like, oh my God.
Was it out of like necessity that you signed there?
No, it wasn't out of necessity. Well, actually, do you remember that year was funky for Connie's if you were trying to sign domestically in the Prem? There were a load of guys getting shafted and I had a bad season that
Which year was it?
This was 2019.
Why was that a bad year? I can't recall.
Basically, I just saw a lot of good players struggling to get Connies that year. But I had a really bad year, so my stock dropped quite significantly. So I had a bad season at Bath. It was my last season there. And I was just struggling to get any decent offers. And who did I have? I had like Quins and someone else. And I was trying to go to Bristol before, but I was getting no love from them.
Yeah.
And then I managed to get a deal with Clermont, and but then it fell through. Then I came back and I was looking around still, and obviously the season had just about started. It was like the last week of the season, so obviously everyone's sorted. Only Bristol were missing a tight head, and they came through in the end. Thank God.
How many seasons you been at Bristol?
This is my third. I find it weird though, trying to because I've been there for it would be my third, but COVID obviously made the season extended and weird. But yeah.
So you're going into 4 now, and so
no, I'm going into my third.
3. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
But did you live in Bristol while you were playing at Bath?
No, I lived in Bath whilst I was playing in Bath, and then I moved to Clermont.
And then came back to Bristol.
Man, it was an odyssey of the highest order.
That is a strange sort of.
Oh man, I wish I'd done the medical before I'd left. It would have saved me so much grief.
Were you a bit sketchy when Clermont said we're going to terminate the contract? Were you a bit oh Jesus, where?
Oh, it was in where to go.
Yeah.
No, I sort of had faith. I was like, we're a rare breed, old boy, aren't we?
Are you a man of the cloth?
No.
No.
No, I just
like saying
no.
We're like a Ricky Gervais kind of atheist kind of vibe.
I know. I believe there's something. I'm just not sure you can just put it down to. I don't think anyone's really deciphered anything definitive about what it is.
Yeah, I agree. But there's the cosmic mystery. If you
will. That is it, isn't it? But no, not a Christian.
Don't swing either way,
so to speak. Yeah.
Just before we move on, I wanted to ask a question about France. Isn't France super hit and miss with rugby players? Some people absolutely hate it and some people love it. It's a bit of a cowboy thing when you go over there, or is that completely just hearsay?
I think you have to take to the French culture, and it's quite different to what you're used to here. So if you embrace that kind of laconic, kind of nonchalant way, and the super. I don't know. I wasn't there long enough to really get a proper insight into it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, some guys like love it and kick on and do really well because if you play well there, I reckon you can play a bit longer and make some serious dollar.
Yeah, because do they not have a salary cap? Is there? Or
it's
it's
really,
just
really
way
high.
higher?
It's way. I think the
higher,
the salary cap for their second division is bigger than the Premiership. I think
really?
quite substantially bigger. I think. Yeah.
So is that do a lot of players just go like end the career sort of thing? Will shoot out to France or even go play second division?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of guys go to Pro D2 as well, and just I think Abenden's still playing, and he's in Pro D2, I think, or Federal 1. But yeah, you can cash in, but it's a hard league. It's not like a.
Every team in the league is good.
Yeah, it's
I think
tough.
then they'll all like throw
it's not
down
easy money. Like you're gonna pay for it.
Because I never realised actually it's quite the pressure is
big.
If you don't play well and you're coming as an English guy, I think, and you're not performing, I think the pressure can like really lump on you. Like yeah,
it gets serious. The owners are quite ambitious, so they get very, very passionate.
But at the same time, the training is like chaos.
Like you hear or training. No, so some clubs are like quite professional. Others are quite like you hear stories about Toulon back in the day, and it was like very volunteer kind of weight sessions and stuff like that, and just team runs. And you hear about what's his name, the owner. But you hear
I don't know his name. I know the fellow you're talking about.
But you hear about him like when they were going badly, just docking people's pay and stuff. It's a Wild West, man. Yeah, it was nutty.
Arbitrarily docking pay.
Yeah, like he was like, "You're not getting paid until you get it done."
So but surely there's rules that enforce that sort of stuff, or that just back in the day.
Who's enforcing it?
It's the Wild West.
You can't do that.
I think there's something going on right now, actually, in regards to maybe another owner. But yeah, they're trying. Some guys are still trying to kind of get the payout of these guys. It's been going on for that long because he can just litigate the crap out of you and just make it so difficult, and then you've got to pay for a lawyer, etc., etc. These guys are super wealthy.
Yeah, it sounds absolute chaos.
Oh,
I don't know. So I suppose you've had like a taste of the.
I just had a look, and then you just hear stories. So I don't actually know any of this for a fact, but I've heard stuff.
It's all kind of veiled, like cloudy.
Chinese whispers, French whispers.
Yeah.
What I was going to say on the topic of training as well, I wanted to ask you, what are you doing at the minute?
I've sort of taken it a bit easy. I just started running this week. It was awful, god awful. But I was down here in London. I was going to Deptford to you're familiar with it, Commando Temple. Mate, what a place! Gym. Incredible gym. I was just playing with all the toys there. Like they have this like mad grip strength war. I was trying some of those bits out, and like the Atlas stones, man, they're pretty awful, aren't they?
On the forearms, really man.
Terrible on the forearms. That's still from the Atlas stone. Yeah.
They've got where we're going today, PFP in Exeter. They've got big Atlas stones outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely put something on these puppies next time. But yeah, how much do they go up to there?
190, I think.
Yeah, they got some because they had that.
But the thing is, because we're not. I don't think we're used. We never. I don't know.
Never like do that.
There's no because the general vibe seems to be a rugby training is like always hold good barbell, position and do good and do barbell and do like perfect and ecan, but then having to go really low from the ground and pick something up.
Yeah.
It's weird that, isn't it? Because obviously when you're playing rugby, you're bent into all like weird positions. When you're like jackling over the ball, you're back. You're not in a perfect straight back position. Exactly. But all the training's done like perfect form.
I completely agree. I just think with strongman stuff, the time under tension and that kind of like that manual grip kind of vibe is so much more specific to rugby. I guess just you're missing sort of a ballistic element that in strongman that you can get with like sort of more velocity based stuff in the gym. Yeah. Which at the moment rugby's quite obsessed with, like sprint training, jumping, that kind of vibe. Do you guys do a lot of that?
Not really, no. Not really. I think that like the sort of the vibe with Chiefs is more like their injury prevention, if you know what I mean. If you're fit to go out and play, that's seen as like that's the number one credo of the S&C team, you know.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Yeah.
During the season, they're not like looking for you to make any sort of gains.
Well, if they can, it's good. But I think the main thing is just stay injury free, stay robust. Because the thing is, if you do the strongman stuff, it is true, but they do proper chatty sessions. We did those ones like a year ago. Me, you and Tim, like take like 2 days to recover, like absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, they smoke you.
Just fries your neuromuscular system. Like,
it does. Yeah,
whacked. And I suppose that's the same. I suppose you get the same sort of feeling off playing a game.
Yeah,
but it would be good. Like I think there's probably room for that in rugby to kind of hybridise the S&C stuff and bring some of that kind of stuff in.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I think so. But also, like, how much on a game week? How much lifting do you do, like lower body wise, like compound lifting wise?
I'll probably do like one light kind of pattern in one on the Monday, and then like probably heavier on a Wednesday. So 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What would that be, like deads or squats?
No, I made a change, and I do all my lower body is always unilateral now, one-legged kind of stuff, like lunging or split squats and stuff like that.
Why did you do that?
It was making my lower back just so tight, doing like trap bar deadlift and stuff like that, or like squats. It was like making me. It was honestly,
it would just take away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if those kind of stuff, I think they're good to do, but then as soon as they have any kind of impact on like performance and stuff like that, you're probably gonna like knock them on the head.
Yeah,
Do you still do those kind of like movements in season?
Yeah, I do, but I'm sort of more going towards your school of thought, and I have to keep it quite like low volume if I'm going heavy. Otherwise, it just takes too much from me over the week. But that's interesting that you do unilateral for it. Yeah, that's probably quite a good idea.
I think it's just gonna take so much pressure off your like lumbar spine
And your getaway sticks as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like pretty. But are you a Vivo barefoot kind of guy?
Yeah. I dabble. I
Do you?
quite like the what's the ones I've got now?
Vibrams.
No, not the
like
Vibrams. The
toe ones.
No, the wet geezers all wear them. You know the ones I mean?
I know the ones you're
I've
talking
seen
about.
them.
I
I
don't know.
know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
like those.
I once like. I'm not a big fan, and I was like, someone saying it to Josh, and he was like mugging him off with me, and then next time I seen him, he was wearing them. It was actually quite.
Mate, that's how I popped my calf.
The
Never
wet
again.
method. What, wearing those ones?
No wearing Vivo barefoots. I was running up a ramp though, so yeah. It was
Oh mate,
dumb stuff.
I've got something to tell you. So, all right. So basically, Boxing Day we played Quins, and one of the hookers got the vid. So all the front row had to isolate. So we had to isolate, and I was getting a bit like stir crazy, and I was like, I need to train. I need to do something. So I was like, looked at the downs. I was thinking, you know what? All these like yoga mums and pregnant mums are running for hours. I'm gonna have a crack at that.
A road run.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So I can road run absolutely fine. Never had an issue with my calves up to this point. I was like, this will be easy. Went for this road run, did about 5k, and then at the end of the run, I was like, I felt like I just stepped in a bear trap, and I was like, yes, that doesn't feel so great. So I was like, I had to ring up the physio and be like, I think I've torn my calf.
Were you in
And
the
they were like,
Vivos?
how have you done this? I was like, I went, I was in those, I was in a pair of minimalist shoes.
Oh right, yeah.
Absolute
Just an unbelievably
clown. I was like,
bad idea.
yeah, no, it was like, in hindsight, I was like, this is the most awful idea I've ever had in my entire existence. And I told them, and they were like, you did what? Yeah, I went on a road run. And he goes, what, for how long? 5k. Rory Murray, head of physio, was like, listen, you could never do this again. You were not designed. Like, if any prop forward did what you did, their calf would probably blow out. I was like, oh God. But I was like, looking at all these pregnant ladies running around the downs. I was like, I'm a premier athlete. I can do that easy. And then I was called into Pat Lamb's office, and I got the absolute shellacking of all the shellackings.
What did he say to you? Did you know you were in for it as soon as
Mex, really lit the team down.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh, he's not even angry at me. He's disappointed in me. And I was just like, this is so
Let the team
upsetting.
down.
Yeah. And I was
Who
like,
knew what
oh.
such an inconsequential thing could cause
Yeah, you're like,
such ripples?
Yeah, and you were like, I'm just trying to get better. Oh, man. But yeah, I felt like an absolute clown.
Do you? Because obviously you're running in like tiny shoes with no sole to them. But do you remember the back in the day, running shoes used to have thick soles? So you even a pair of Asics thick soles.
I felt like
Josh, you used to sport them.
Literally the cushion, mate.
Yeah, the
They
cushion
have
used
the
to be
bubble in there.
platform heels. Like
since that day, Harry, I've converted to
you an Asics man now.
for anything like that, any sort of impact stuff on the feet. I have a big old pair of black Asics. Yeah.
Really? Because I just like. It seems like they've sort of they grew out to a point where now they collapsed in on themselves.
I think the idea is, right, we're supposed to be able to run in those minimalist shoes, but everyone grows up running around in these things with a big chunk on them.
So you've completely atrophied, and then you think you can just
but you got to build your way in slowly.
You got to build your way back up.
Barefoot run.
It's not really practical for athletes.
Have you seen what's Elvis Tione's feet like?
They're quite wide. Yeah, I'd say he's got a wide foot.
Yeah, so any of the Melanesian or Polynesian boys, because they grow up basically in bare feet, they have these incredible feet. They're just obscene.
They are nice feet, actually. Yeah, they're like the toes will grip the floor correctly.
They're like dinosaur feet. Semis are ridiculous. They're the biggest feet I've ever seen in terms of the width.
But then no, it's like ground contact. Across square inch wise,
real solid foundation.
Yeah.
Proper.
Whereas us Caucasian lads all
we've got little
walking around in
look at these
little
puppies.
booties, bent off. You see John Hill's feet, bad feet. It's like his toes don't touch the ground. There's like the bottom of the thing. His sole touches it, and then the toes lay atop the foot. Touching into the ground.
Like talons, almost.
Almost like talons, like a velociraptor.
I'll tell you who's a real bad Henry Thomas.
Really?
His are just winging. They're like the toe, so the foot's that, and then the toes just right angle.
How does that? Because surely that's not a natural foot, is it? Do you know that's shoes that are too small for you?
Yeah, I reckon you grow up wearing shoes that you really liked and thought were cool at school. So you just kept them on for too long. You know that point where you're just growing rapidly. And
you are.
Change shoes all the time.
You're staying them.
You're just like, nah, these are cool. I'm gonna keep wearing them.
Yeah, black Converse with school uniform. Boom. That was the go-to.
Just completely fuck yourself up.
Yeah, and it just completely cripples your footsies. Yeah.
Yeah.
One more thing on training. Have you been doing any of the knees over toes stuff?
I've just the only thing I do is I like to do the tibialis raise and the the slant board single leg squats. Yeah. I do those.
Have you noticed a difference?
Because I had a significant knee problem for a while, in terms from a reactive arthritis, like an autoimmune disease, and since I started doing that, I just, especially before I do any lower body or running, I just feel insane. Feel a lot better. Yeah,
I've seen so many people reporting. I think the one of the good things they do in that is the backward sled pulls. I think that could be massive because
the tension.
That's hypertrophy your legs.
Yeah.
And no pressure on your lower back whatsoever.
That's another thing that the guiders, those runways, love doing. These massive Metcon circuits, and a lot of it was reverse sled pulls and reverse sled jerks and stuff like that.
So it's concentric movement, no eccentric, so you don't get as bad abdominals, maybe?
It was tough. Yeah, because it's not stretching the hamstring out to full length, is it? It's sort of just time under tension.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Have you been doing any other weird training stuff? I know you your mind training and breathing and that.
No, I'm just still on that buzz. So I just do the breathe, that same shift state.
Yeah.
Well, still dabble in the roping. That's about it.
What about that? You had that hammer last time I saw you.
So I just keep that ticking over. But I went over to Tim's house and he bought this really nice hammer. So I was like, I should have bought that one, because I was I was terrible, and I watched.
Were you envious of his hammer?
Yeah, I was so envious of his hammer. And so I went and got that, and it just leveled it up so much easier. So now that's got a lot better. But yeah, I'm still doing that and the mirror writing.
Have you noticed the difference? You're evening out your hands.
In terms of, I almost prefer how once I'm in the flow of the left hand, I almost prefer the cursive on that. It's more it's more repetitive than my right. My right is sort of the letters are more variable, whereas on my left, they're very much more repetitive.
So if you could write a letter with your left hand, you reckon?
Yeah.
That's impressive, man.
But the because I'm writing, so if I'm in the journal, I'm writing in my right hand first. I'll then repeat that page with my left hand, but it's a mirror, so it's a mirror of that page.
Yeah.
So but if I had to write conventionally with my left hand, I'm not sure how I actually haven't tried that. I need to try it. I'm sure it'd be fine, actually. But yeah, it's quite good fun. I won't lie, it was really addictive. I don't know why it was, but it is.
It sounds great.
And journaling's quite good crack as well.
We're on an hour and 18. Is there anything else you wanted to cover, or should we wrap it up there?
Should we wrap her up?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Any
Thanks
plugs? Do you want to plug?
Oh, yeah. Website's apenutrition.co.uk. Instagram's ape_nutrition. We've got high-fat, like, sort of snack bars, CBD oil, mushrooms, so, like, lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi. We got some kettlebells. Help me out here. What else we got? And we got a whole nose to tail line coming out.
Oil.
MCT oil.
Did you say that?
No, I didn't say it. Well done. And we've got a whole nose to tail line coming out in the next couple of weeks. So by the time this is out, they'll be out beef organs.
Crucial supplements.
Yeah. Absolutely crucial.
Colostrum,
Absolutely
few bits
crucial.
and pieces. What about you, Harry? I noticed you're back on Instagram, actually. You want to get that?
How did you notice that?
Because you've been viewing my stories.
Yeah, I just, was considering a relaunch. Harry.Williams91, yeah. Trying to push it, but there's no, yeah. I don't know, it is, yeah, we could talk about the toxicity of social media another junction.
That's a whole episode.
Yeah,
That is literally, yeah.
Max, what about you, mate?
I've got nothing to really push, but at Lahiff Max on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Wicked.
We'll see you next week.